Go. So I'm Louis. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Ryder, and I was previously the growth lead at Stacks. Who here is familiar of Stacks? One over there. Great. The number one L2 solution on Bitcoin. I was there for 4 years. Okay, so I went to crypto in 2016, right? And the biggest question that I have is, why do I own 8 hardware wallets after 8 years? Julian, our CPO, like you guys, the retail investor, he's a retail investor since 2017. And his biggest question is, why does he find it difficult to use his Bitcoin from one application and putting it into like an online DeFi application, for example? Same with Marvin, our CTO. So taking ownership of your Bitcoin is difficult because of 3 things. It's Jen now. So 3 things. First is security. Second is product design. And third is adoption. Now, I'm going to go over it one by one. So the first one is security. We, as a user, can't really create and back up our wallet with easy recovery. So we either need to trust a centralized third party. A good example is MPC wallets or something like Ledger Recover in order to recover our assets. Second, if you want to use your Bitcoin from like a self-custodial wallet, which is called storage, and to send a transaction to Chloe over there, it actually takes 30 to 45 minutes. From like setting up the ledger with my seed phrases, and then I plug it in, and then I look at the transaction. All of those takes 45 minutes. Now, the question that I have for you is, will you do it? Possibly. Oh, she's one of the good ones. My mom wouldn't do it. I asked my mom, she's like, no, I can't do it. This is too much for me. It's too difficult, intimidating, and daunting for normal people. Next, when you look at most of these wallets, they focus on security. Right? So it gives you that kind of cyberpunk 1984 matrix feel to it. That's why we have the gamers over there. It attracts a very niche audience, but it doesn't attract people like my friends and family. And the question that I always have is, okay, I work on the protocol level for 4 years. 2018, early 2023, before I started doing Ryder. And then at the peak, the protocol was $3 billion. And for me, it didn't make sense because we only had like less than 3,000 users on chain. So there's a big disparity when it comes to the tech and to the price movement and just like the market in general. And I was just over it, right? And then every time I go on the dinner table with my family, they always ask me the question, are you okay? Is Bitcoin okay? Isn't it a scam? After 8 years, I went to the space 2016, 8 years, they always ask me, isn't Bitcoin a scam? And then same friends that I have in 2016, 8 years later, they wanted to go into crypto in 2016. 8 years later, they still couldn't create a wallet. And for me, it's like, what are we doing? So we actually team up, me and my team. So I'm Louis. You can see here, I was already talking about NFTs on Bitcoin in 2021. Before, I heard there's a Sats Hunter over there. He says he's an Ordinals OG. So even before OG began in Ordinals, I started preaching it in 2021 at CoinDesk. And you can see Marvin here, our CDO as well. He was talking about already smart contracts in 2021. But we were not the first one. But together, we actually team up with Julian, our secret special sauce in Web3, to create something that will actually bring retail investors to Bitcoin. So after 2 years of development, I wanted to introduce you guys to Ryder. So it's a crypto wallet with the hardware, as you can see it, an app and recovery tag, which are smart programmable NFC tags. And Chloe here can actually create a wallet with just 2 taps. Chloe just needs to tap the phone app and recovery tag, and she's able to create and back up her wallet in less than 60 seconds. Now, this is good for my mom, because my mom will do it. Next, my mom wants to send me a Bitcoin. She's like, oh, you've been a good kid today in the past year. Now, I want to send you 100 sats, like the Sats Hunter over there. So my mom can actually do a Bitcoin transaction in less than 2 seconds through our tap to send feature through NFC on your mobile application. And lastly, all the horror stories that we've heard, right? So I have friends who, of course, I have a lot of seed phrases. The moment you lose it, it's gone, right? So we make it easy for you to recover your asset as well. So you just need to tap. You tap your recovery tag, and you tap your mobile app, and you're able to recover your asset. And now what we do differently is we also have what we call optional social recovery. So Chloe here can actually make her mom as a backup and Toby as well as a backup and me, and we need to come together and recover their asset in case they lost it. And now you have a full stack self-custodial wallet that's 100% offline, fully self-custodial that you only need to trust you and your devices and your family on it. And that's it. That's my little intro so you guys know more about me before I talk about Bitcoin. And I have a few questions. Let's begin with this one. What is this? I think the old ones, you. Wall Street, great. So this is the 2008 financial crisis. Next, where's the Americans? God, there's no American here. Where are they? I think they're hangover from their flight. So this is also the presidential election in 2008 where Obama won the election. Next is same year, we also had the Beijing Olympics, which is happening in Paris this year. And all of these happened in 2008. Plus, there is one thing that happened also in 2008. Do you know what is it? Come on, mate. It's the reason why you're here today. Minus points for you. So, Bitcoin also was created in 2008, and it's all the reason why we're here today, right? It's the reason why you're here. Okay, next. So let's do a bit of history about Bitcoin. This is good for Chloe. So Bitcoin was actually the first Genesis block was mined by Satoshi Nakamoto on January 3, 2009. And now, if you're a real OG, you know what happens next. Anybody in the room? The Sats OG. You told me you're an OG. You know what happened next, or else I'm going to remove the title OG from you. Removed. The next thing that happened is Satoshi actually sent the first Bitcoin transaction to Hal Finley. It was 10 Bitcoin on January 12, 2009, 9 days after the first Bitcoin was mined. Next is, okay, for all people here, who knows what happened on May 22? One guy over there. Bitcoin Pizza Day for Chloe. You love Pizza Ninjas, right? So the inspiration for Pizza Ninja, definitely. I need to confirm it with Trevor. So Bitcoin Pizza Day, Laszlo here actually spent 10,000 Bitcoins to buy 2 pizza, which is now, how much is it today? Quick math. Around like 600 million, I think. Is that right? I think so. Okay, next. So who was here in 2013, circa? Okay, we're quite new. I'm 2016 circa. So so the first Bitcoin price surge was in 2011. So Bitcoin actually hit $31, and before that, February, it was parity $1 to $1. But then after this, the crash in 2011, there's like a few innovation in Bitcoin. There's like one that's mostly notable, which is colored coin. So it's the first programmable thing that happened to Bitcoin, and they tried to bring digital real-world assets and register it on Bitcoin, but it wasn't as successful. Because do you guys know colored coin? Me neither, until I did this slide. Okay, next. So after that, who all know about Mt. Gox? Come on, raise your hand. Don't be shy. Okay, we have a few people over here. So 750K Bitcoin, customer Bitcoin was lost in Mt. Gox, and then the next is 100K own BTC from Mt. Gox was lost. Fun fact, they're actually unlocking it today, and it's $9 billion worth of money that they're going to unlock. Now, the question for you guys, especially the traders, is it a bear or a bull? Bear. Then I'm going to go bull, because then if everybody's afraid, then I need to, send it. Okay, next. So after the crash again in 2013, so 2014, you have more protocols building on Bitcoin, which is Counterparty and Mastercoin. Both of them are trying to bring more programmability to Bitcoin as well. Next, so I remember this circa. So from 900 to 20,000, I was there. I remember the time in 2017 where there's a lot of Bitcoin forks. I remember I went to one called Bitcoin Private. They were trying to bring Monero features to Bitcoin, and then I think the guy's name was Rhett, and then he was doing a fork of Z Classic, which has the properties of Monero, and then combine it with Bitcoin, and there were just so many derivatives. If you hold one Bitcoin, you get a Bitcoin Cash, and in Bitcoin Gold, it was just the Bitcoin Circa. And then I think I told my mom, oh, I brushed my teeth, I made $3,000. I don't think I need to work. I love crypto. That was like my main motivation to go to the space to make money. And then I lost it all. I never touched it. It was just in my balance account. I think we all have that story, right? I remember the time as well. I go to a barber shop. The barber was talking about Bitcoin. You go to a cab. The cab driver was talking about Bitcoin. That's a signal for like the peak. So after 2017, there's also more protocols that builds on Bitcoin, which is Liquid Network and RSK. Both of them have different kind of implementation, from the consensus mechanism all the way to how they actually bring programmability to Bitcoin and how they do the pegs on Bitcoin as the one-to-one asset from the base chain to the side chain. And who could forget the fourth horseman during the 2021 bull run? Chloe, who do you know on this slide? Elon Musk. Yeah, he's very popular. So Elon Musk also, so Tesla bought a lot of Bitcoins for them. I think 1.5, is it $1 billion or $1 million? Something like that. And you also have Tom Brady, who invested heavily on FTX. Who could forget our Michael Saylor, the new messiah for Bitcoin, who keeps adding more Bitcoin to their balance sheet at MicroStrategy. And we also have the El Salvador president who made Bitcoin the first legal tender. And all of them together catapulted Bitcoin to like its new price movement in 2021. But after that, there's more innovation as well. So more protocols on Bitcoin started launching, like Stacks. I'm probably biased because I worked for the guys for 4 years. So currently, Stacks is the #1 biggest L2 solution on Bitcoin. So what happened? So 2014, 2018, 2021. So a lot of things had happened outside of Bitcoin, but the development is quite slow, right? So if you compare it to Ethereum, Ethereum had like DeFi summer, the NFT craze, they went mainstream, but Bitcoin was just a turtle, right? Because then during the ICO boom in 2017, 2018, the battle became more smart contracts, and Ethereum actually won it. So all the ICOs went to Ethereum, a lot of developers went to Ethereum, a lot of money went to Ethereum, and all attention were all on Ethereum. So Bitcoin left the chat, basically. So this is all the things that happened into Bitcoin those past few years. Now the question is, I'm going to skip this one. What's changed? What do you think changed? I mean, there's a lot of Bitcoiners in the room. What do you think changed in the past few years? Why Bitcoin has momentum now?
So it's fun again.
Great question. Great answer. You, what do you think? Why did it change?
Not a hype topic anymore. We reached all-time high, but no
Yeah,
one talking about.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So all the answers are right? So the perception for Bitcoin has changed. So once things stands true, like even after all the bear market, the bull run, people trying to like flip Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still #1, right? Bitcoin is the most decentralized network there is. Bitcoin has the best security, and and you see a lot of things happen, for example, with all the other chains like Ethereum, Solana. Don't get me wrong, I love both chains. So now, and the coolest thing in town is we're all building on Bitcoin today, the moment I speak. So who are here are builders in the room that's building on Bitcoin? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we need more builders. But I think they're all in ETHCC. They're going to come here later. Trust me, some of the Bitcoin builders, they're kind of smart. They're going there to network at ETHCC. So who here knows about ordinals? Damn, it's like ordinal circa here, right? I need to talk to you guys 4 years after. So ordinals actually spark a lot of things about Bitcoin. There's going to be the main topic for today. So when I think of it as CryptoKitties, are you guys familiar with CryptoKitties? Yeah, so CryptoKitties, the same thing happened to Ethereum. It broke the chain, it got congested, the fees were so high, the miners were competing for blocks. It's the same for ordinals, right? And then ordinals was one of the few key pieces that actually set the stone for Bitcoin. And so I'm a builder, so there's a few things that I look at before I go to an ecosystem, right? Because as we all know it, there's a lot of ecosystem in this space. You have Ethereum, Solana, Base, Polygon. But for you as a builder, you always think, okay, I need to be smart on how I use my time. What chain do I actually build my project on? So there's a few things that I really like about Bitcoin. So I will sum it up into 3: security, brand, and opportunity. First is security. As I mentioned, Bitcoin is actually battle tested, right? So it's the most secure chain there is. So even if there's a geopolitical or nuclear warfare, there's more than 100K miners around the world that's securing the network. So you need to attack the entire Earth to actually defeat Bitcoin. Next, so wide-known brand. So if you ask your mom, your dad, or your friends and family, ask them, do you know Bitcoin? What do you think they will say? What? Where does your parents live? My mom knows Bitcoin. My dad knows Bitcoin. So they all know about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has like the best big brand out there, right? If you tell my mom about other tokens, she wouldn't know, but she knows about Bitcoin. And then every time I go home to my mom in America, she always like, "Can I get some Bitcoin?" I was like, "Why do you want it?" No, I don't. She just know that it's Bitcoin. It's quite valuable. And if you look at the kids today, you can easily predict the future, right? So that's like a really good quote. If you really want to see how the future works, you just need to look at the present. If you look at the present and add kids these days, what do they want? Bitcoin or gold? The answer is Bitcoin. So as a wide-known brand, you instantly tapping into that. There's more than 416 million addresses created on the Bitcoin network. And that's instant user base that you can tap into as a builder. Next, untapped liquidity. What's the current market cap of Bitcoin? I didn't look at the prices today, but maybe the traders. 55. What's the current market cap? I need an answer. Market cap. Okay. 1 point? 1.4 trillion? 1.1. Okay, it's going up the prices over here. So $1.1 trillion is the current market cap of Bitcoin, right? So usually I work on the protocol level. There's a few things that's very hard to bootstrap. Liquidity, right? So liquidity as a project is very hard to bootstrap, especially if you're in the DeFi application. Where do you get the liquidity? That's why retail investors like you go in the chain and bring those liquidity. But the one thing is there is like Bitcoin has so much liquidity. Even if you look at it, there's a lot of Bitcoin that moved to self-custody last year. So those are currently lacked. But that's why we're all here today. We want to unlock it. So it's a $1 trillion opportunity for us builders to build on Bitcoin. Next. Okay, that's why we're having this kind of renaissance, right? So now Bitcoin is the coolest thing in town, and there's a lot of capital flowing into Bitcoin. And yeah, that's why you have the OGs like RSK, Stacks, Lightning, and Liquid taking its prime time spots, which it didn't happen before. So even Stacks actually shot itself to top 30. So the L2 narrative in Bitcoin at the moment is very strong. And if you look at it now, there's more layer twos, right? So it happened the same thing again, like 2013, 2017, 2021. There's only gonna few things that's gonna remain, and the question is, who is it? And that's my little presentation for today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're interested to pre-order, you can find us at Ryder.id/pre-order. And if you want a demo, I can demo it to you guys. I'm just around. But I'm going to be your host for this morning because they think I'm funny. So I'm going to host the entire thing till 12:45. But thank you so much.